I found out that my VA was sending my email list to a competitor's website for 3 months before I even noticed. And that wasn't even like the real disaster. I was running a $250,000 a month business. I was also drowning. Content was eating me alive. The emails, posts, captions, launches, it just never stopped. So I did what every business coach told me to do. I delegated it. I hired a VA, handed off the thing that was killing my time, the social media, the content creation. And my audience noticed before I did. The engagement dropped, sales slowed down. I reviewed the content the VA was posting, and I had essentially become a dusty motivational cat poster instead of a human being, a real human that they actually wanted to hear from. They were there for me, but I was edited out of all of my content. Then everything hit at once. The VA had sent my list to a competitor. 4 years of relationships just gone. It had gotten to the point where I had to choose between paying them and buying groceries. And I was in the middle of a high conflict divorce and custody battle that unraveled anything that the business had left. And I had no energy to fix it. So I just watched it die slowly and painfully. But here's what I know now that I didn't know then. The delegation part wasn't the problem. The missing system was. After the dust settled, I helped a dear friend build a business from the ground up. And this person barely knew how to work a computer, but the systems that I had built held. It held without them, and it held without me in it. Then AI matured, and I realized something that changed how I build everything. A VA, copywriter, ghostwriter, social media manager can imitate you. Generic AI is always going to sound like everybody else on the internet because that's what it's supposed to do. But properly trained AI that has been given your voice DNA as a hard constraint, writes like you. Not a version of you, not a smoothed over like corporate internet voice version that you see all over friggin' LinkedIn nowadays, but you. And I started building voice frameworks and feeding them into AI. Tone, belief, sentence structure, the phrases I'd never say, the exact ways I finished a thought, and the content that came back, and my clients couldn't tell that I didn't write it manually. I run multiple businesses now. I drive my kids to therapy, I cook dinner, I'm on the PTO, I take real vacations, not the kind where you're posting from a hotel bathroom at 5 a.m., because I did that before. I built this system because I know exactly what it costs not to have it. It's called the Voice Identity Matrix. I'm going to show you exactly how it works here in a second. You upload what you have. Website copy, emails, social posts, transcripts, heck, even your diary, anything you've written. And our AI does a forensic linguistic analysis. And within minutes, 3 training files are given to you that turn any AI platform, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever the flavor of the week is, even those platforms that you're paying entirely too much per month for to make posts for you, it works on that too. Literally anything into you. It's like a second brain. There over 100 founders have used this, and 94% of the posts have been reported to be shared, posted, and published without editing a single word. Not because AI got lucky, but because it finally knows who you are. It's $27. It's less than 1 hour with a copywriter, much less. It is less than a dinner out at Applebee's with some margaritas. It is less than 1 month of the AI tools you're already frustrated with. The link is below this video. You upload your assets, we do the extraction, and you get something back that stops you cold and makes you think like, how did it know that? I rebuilt from collapse. I protected my kids and I redesigned my life around what I actually needed. And this system is what made that possible. So I'm going to show you exactly how the Founder Voice AI and Voice Identity Matrix works. So as soon as you check out, you're going to be taken to this page. These are your bonus assets. So the more you feed AI as far as data goes and how clear that data is, the better results you're going to get. So if you fear that you don't have enough online content that's in your voice, or the content that is online just doesn't quite sound like you, or if you just want to double down and make sure that AI is going to get your voice correct, I highly, highly recommend one or both of these assets. There's two different versions. The Founder Voice Extraction is more of like a brain doc. So it's a guided interview across 8 pillars. It goes over the origin story, beliefs, frameworks, and AI kind of does an interview with you. So you go back and forth. You can choose Claude or ChatGPT. As soon as you click these buttons, it's going to take you to the website on a different tab, but it copies the prompt that you need to kick off this interview. If you click Claude, it'll open Claude and you just paste it into the chat and then it'll start the interview. This one is the Founder Story Extractor. This is more like a storytelling type thing. So it really goes down and deep dives into your brand's story. So if you have a really strong origin story, or if you're, family owned and those kinds of things, and you have strong beliefs that you want to be conveyed in everything that you create, I highly recommend the Founder Story Extractor. If you're an overachiever like me, I recommend both for this exercise because, like I said, the more that you put into the Founder Voice AI, the more accurate it's going to be. And these are going to get details out of your business and your story that you haven't even thought of yet. Consider it like a free hour with a brand specialist that's going to take the really cool details out of your business and your story. And so we can have those assets to give to the Founder Voice AI system so that it could extract and train the AI that you are training in a really thorough way. If you want to skip it, if you're like, dude, my brand has been around for like years and I know exactly what I sound like and one look at my socials will tell you, then you can absolutely skip this. So just go to the next page. And this is a Voice Identity Matrix. It's an app that I built where you put your assets in, your website, your socials, and it does a forensic linguistic analysis and brand analysis to come up with 3 training files that you can give to any AI and they will write like you. It says, tell us about your brand. We're going to do Liquid Death because it has a really unique voice. I've done my brand. If you've been on a few of my pages, you obviously kind of know my brand already. I'm going to show you how accurate it is. I don't have any assets on my computer to upload for this. I only have their socials and their website, but just having that, you will see that it is scary accurate. So, and here it has places for your website, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and brand assets. So this is where you upload any documents that you might have that has branding information on there. You can upload your logo, so it kind of has like a styling guide. You can upload your diary pages or whatever it is that you want to upload to capture your voice that you're going to be sharing. Upload them here. Below that, you have Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini. So there's 3 different versions, or a generic version that's AI agnostic, so it can go with any platform. It'll give you instructions for installing it to those specific large language model AI. If you're going to do Claude, you're going to create a project, give the project instructions, and then feed the project these files. I'm going to hit Claude, and then I'm going to say build my voice identity matrix, and then it'll go through this whole process. It's encoding my authority patterns and blah, blah, blah. It's just going through here, and it's within minutes that you get your results. So this is what it looks like when it's done. Your voice identity matrix is ready. Liquid Death. These are the 3 intelligence documents that will train any AI to write like you. Or if you're just like developing your brand voice and you want to get an example like Liquid Death, it extracts that information as well. So we're going to download this and open it and see what it has to say. So this is the Liquid Death Founder Voice DNA, and it's automatically going to be a .text file because free AI has data limits, and we want the files to be as small as possible but with the most information. And this is the type of file that's the easiest to get a lot of information in there and then also still be a small file size. So it's smaller than a PDF, smaller than a Word doc. This is the Liquid Death Founder Voice DNA, and this is essentially like the psychological blueprint of how you communicate. This is funny, watch. Liquid Death speaks like a death metal band that accidentally started a water company and decided to blow up the entire beverage industry along the way. The voice is aggressively anti-corporate while being a corporation, positioning canned water as rebellion against plastic pollution and boring hydration. Every communication feels like it was written by someone who thinks traditional marketing is a disease and the cure is chaos. The brand weaponizes humor, horror aesthetics, and extreme sports energy to make drinking water feel like joining an underground movement. It refuses to sound healthy, wholesome, or earnest, instead choosing to sound like a friend who makes you laugh at a funeral and somehow makes the world better for. This is funny, but scary accurate. Like, I just gave it the Twitter handle or the X handle, the Instagram handle, and the website. This isn't a wellness brand with tattoos. It's genuine disruption of beverage marketing DNA. The voice treats sustainability like a mosh pit, hydration like a headbang, and corporate responsibility like a middle finger wrapped in recycled aluminum. Every word choice reinforces that you're not buying water, you're murdering your thirst, killing plastic pollution, and joining a cult of people who think boring is the real death. And tone sliders, bold, 10 out of 10. Warm, 3 out of 10. It's definitely not a warm and fuzzy brand. Direct is 9 out of 10. Witty is, of course, 10 out of 10. Emotional, 2 out of 10. Analytical, 4 out of 10. Playful, 9 out of 10. And rebellious is 10 out of 10. Those are the tone sliders. And this is what it's exactly going to pull from your website and your assets. So make sure that whatever you're feeding into there is actually stuff that you want recreated. And let's say like you really like Liquid Death's branding, you can absolutely pull the DNA like this and insert your product. It doesn't have to be water. I think their marketing is absolutely brilliant and funny. Here's the voice rules. Lead with aggression and dark humor. Use death, murder, kill terminology relentlessly, but always in the service of a joke or the mission. Position against wellness brands, plastic bottles, and boring marketing. Keep it stupid simple. Like I said, the better the input, the better the output. So if you are very specific and very detailed about exactly what you want back out of the AI, it's going to do really great things and really cool things. Not only that, reading these documents about you and about your brand is eye-opening. It's like holding up a mirror and saying, oh my gosh, that is me. I have had clients and founders tell me that the description of how the voice identity matrix explains their voice is a little brutal, but brutally honest. And it's so much more than toggling an on and off switch about like, oh, I'm in the roofing industry so that whatever AI you're working in can write you roofing posts. They're literally going to copy every other roofer out there. But if you have a personality like Liquid Death and you want Liquid Death personality to be writing your posts, this is how you do it. So if your brand is like metal or whatever, this is a great one to go off of. I'm going to show you what the content engine looks like as well. This gives you 50 content topics specific to your voice and your teaching patterns. So how you teach concepts and explain concepts so you never run out of ideas on what you should be posting. Like there's 50 categories. You're not going to run out of stuff to post. So let's see what Liquid Death's content is, or content topics. This is great for creation of blog articles to social posts to YouTube videos, those kinds of things. Like you can post and create content on any of these 50 topics and it's going to be on brand. So these are the 5 authority lanes right here. And then it goes into the 50 content topics. Why we named water like it wants to murder you. The origin story of pissing off Big Beverage. I want to do this with like all the sassy brands out there just to see what it comes up with. If you give this to your AI, it's going to consider all of these and cycle through all of these. And it's so fun to read as well. These are your teaching patterns, how through intentional chaos and pattern interruption, never lead with the lesson, lead with the wait, what? So like this is how they market, right? Let's see. And then the authority patterns, this is going to be your thinking patterns. There's 5 reusable insight frameworks, contrarian moves, and it's ready to install in your AI with the system prompt in there as well. So these are the liquid death's thinking patterns. The core intellectual move is category vandalism executed with precision. Rather than creating a new category, liquid death deliberately occupies the wrong one: energy drinks, hard seltzers, craft beer, through packaging that triggers learned expectations, then delivers water. Underneath the theatrical aggression lies a sophisticated strategic restraint. This is great stuff. So, and then it goes into the 5 insight frameworks. I'll read one of them. Many ideal customers want to make better choices, but can't afford the social signaling cost in their actual context. Your job is eliminating that friction through camouflage design. The product must let customers opt into virtue while opting out of appealing virtuous. Map the social context. Where will this be consumed? What does the wrong choice look like there? What social permission does that wrong choice carry? Choice to carry identical permission structure. The aluminum can isn't innovation. Every beverage uses cans. The innovation is making water look like not water in contexts where water carries social cost. This works across categories: healthy snack that looks like candy, educational content that looks like entertainment, serious tool that looks like a toy. The tighter you can nail the mimicry while delivering the virtue, the more powerfully you can remove adoption friction. So this is essentially telling the AI, this is how you need to create content. So the frameworks are absolutely critical. And then the contrarian notes: sell water as if it's dangerous, chooses maximum offense as brand strategy, makes sustainability punk rock, occupies wrong category intentionally. So it is like a disruptor in the space and such a cool brand. Okay, so this is how it's going to pull and train your AI of choice under your brand. These are far more detailed than any toggle that you can turn on for your industry. These are far more detailed than any sort of intake interview that $99 per month apps are charging you to write LinkedIn posts for. These are very detailed and very thorough. So what you're going to get is very detailed and very thorough content. And that's the whole point. So once these are installed and the download instructions are here for your AI of choice, if you open this, it says step 1. Go to new project, go to Claude, blah, blah, blah. It literally gives you step-by-step instructions on how to make this work on a large language model. Large language model being Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever it is that you're using. And then this is like a preview here, and then you can teach your AI to make money. So once you have that installed, you can unlock the revenue engine if you so choose, and that teaches your AI how to write sales copy and the essential funnel of the client journey from acquisition, from paid ads or social discovery or whatever, through the entire journey, and writes that whole thing for you in your voice DNA. It's pretty cool. And then there's an awesome done for you session. So if this is too much and you're like, I want this built out for me, you can do a done for you session, and that's here. If you have another brand you want to generate, you can do so here, and it's going to take you to another checkout page to where you can generate another voice identity matrix. All of the ones that you generate under your email is going to be available to you on a dashboard. We have a 30-day sound like you guarantee. You can try it out for 30 days. If it doesn't sound like you, we'll refund your money. That's how strongly we believe in these assets. You can literally take them, give them to AI, give them to a copywriter,
Give them to your social media management team if you have one, and you will get content that's scarily on brand. Finally,
It's one thing to hold and know your brand in your head, and it's another thing to actually produce things or have it reproduced by your team without a lot of your involvement. So if you're rewriting drafts from your team, like this is going to be a great tool to hand them as well. Link is below, 27 bucks per brand, no monthly fee, and sound like you guarantee.